it's Desiree, and today I am here with Rubber Stamp Tapestry, and we are going to use one of their previous peg stamp sets called Pink Splash. Now, I don't believe this is available any longer. However, again, use what you have in your stash. So hopefully this will give you some inspiration, and if you have some other peg stamps, this is another way that you can use them. And I'm also going to pull in the Honeybee Party Die set. All right, so let's get started. I dug into my Memento inks, and I'm using Olive Grove Pistachio for my greens, Elderberry, which is a dark purple, Nautical Blue, which is a deep blue, Toffee Crunch, and Peanut Brittle. And these are like the golden colors that I'll be using. Now, the colors that I chose they're not bright and vibrant. They're muted colors. So it's almost going to have a vintage feel for this piece. And since I'm just using a die that says party, it can be for any type of celebration. You can see I'm just using my peg stamps and I'm creating borders, but in the corners opposite of each other. So in the upper left and the bottom right. When it comes to the larger pieces, I started out with the golden colors for the flowers. And then I came in with my 2 shades of green for the leaves. And now for the smaller image, I used the dark blue and now this purple for the outline. Now those outline flowers kind of get lost within those corners, but that's okay. They're actually going to come to life with some embellishments that we're going to add into the center. And that's all of our stamping. I dug into my stash and I found this burlap. It's actual cardstock. And I think it's by DS, I forget the name of it. I even lost the color or the cover of it. I cut the piece down to be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So that's going to be my frame and my backdrop. And then my panel here is going to go on top of that. Now I'm going to use a little bit more glue than normal because I wanted to make sure to get into that burlap so that it stays. And I'm going to add a couple of acrylic blocks on top of that so that we can get that to adhere. For my die, I'm going to use a craft cardstock for the base, and I'm going to double that up. And what's great with these honeybee dies is it's 3 layers. So you have this large cloud, and then you have a smaller cloud, and then you have the detail of the sentiment itself. So I went with the craft for the base, and I put some vintage photo around that. And then for this next layer, I'm using a pale ivory from my stash that I found, and I'm going to layer that up 3 times, and then I used a dark blue for the sentiment itself to make that stand out, and I'm going to layer that as well. I die cut that 3 times. This is a really nice, when it comes to die cut sentiments, I like big die cut sentiments. They're my go-to. Doesn't mean I don't like the finer detailed ones. I think they're gorgeous, but for layering and adding that texture and dimension, these are the ones that I will grab for. I did switch over to my art glitter glue because it's got the fine tip needle to it, so that I can apply the glue to the finer detail of the sentiment. I'm going to put that right on top. This is going to be a landscape standard A2 size card, and it's going to be a side folding card, and I'm going to set party right in the center. So again, not bright and vibrant, but some beautiful florals going on in that, so it can go for any occasion that you may have coming up. I grabbed my Pink Fresh Stargazer gems. These are they're black, but they have this blue iridescent on top of them. I also love their espresso too. Same thing. Yay. And I'm putting those to the center of those flowers. And as I do that, you can see that these flowers actually just come to life. You can see those outlined flowers, even though you're seeing all of those colors coming through as well. So that is our project for today. So I kind of, well, I hope that I gave you some tips and tricks some different types of cardstocks that you can use. You can always have a mixed media feel for your cards, and a different color scheme. That's definitely possible. As always, the products that I use will be listed down below. Now again, the stamp set that I used, the Pink Splash, is no longer available. But again, use what you have in your stash. Wanted to give you some inspiration on this. But please, I encourage you to check out the Rubber Stamp Tapestry website to see all of the other wonderful peg stamp sets that they have available. If you have any questions, make sure you leave those down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. As always, enjoy your day. I hope 2022 is treating you well. And we are getting ready for the next year's journey. But always remember, it is still the most important for me. Always be creative, everyone. And I'll talk to you in the next video. Till then, take care.